There's a minute at the end of the Havdalah. We put our fingers into the
Make a difference. Which
wine.
How to do it? One time, two times.
Oh, the Rabbi used to do. They used to do with the small finger. He used to do 3 times.
Just touch. One,
Yeah.
2, 3.
No.
Or just touch one.
Touch
and
once and they would go
3.
1, 2, 3.
Let's do it with Kabbalah.
Some put in the pocket,
Yeah.
fill up the pocket money.
That's right.
It's as good for Parnasa.
Right.
If somebody's sick,
It's as gula that the cleaner will make parnasa.
when somebody's sick, like I with the heart, so my wife, somebody told her to take some and to put here.
Uh-huh.
I don't, I'm doing just
Need
good.
help?
Oh Hashem, I see me here every day.
Where does it come from, this whole thing? It comes from the Pirkei de Rebbe Lezer. It says, Shiore mitzvah mi'akrim apuronius. It says in Gemara several times. What does that mean? The Gemara says there was a mitzvah of tenufa, which we had recently in Rambam. We learned
Just
the
now.
Ma'aseh Karbonos, right? Mamash. Yeah. So the Rambam Paskins, the Gemara says that it's only shiore mitzvah. It's not mi'ak. If a person didn't do tenufa, he was still yoytze the korban. However, if he did do tenufa, so the tenufa is moilech hamevi milo moirid. Moilech hamevi is latza ruchas roes. Milo moirid is latza telolim roim. So the Gemara says, we leave from here. We see what is going on over here. It's not ma'akev shiore mitzvah. It's not mi'akev.
What's the word shiori?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Usually by Kochim we say that anything that the Torah says twice, Shana Lavakos of La'akev. If Torah doesn't say it twice, you're not Ma'akev. So these things are not Ma'akev. Still, when you do it,
It's better.
it's Moiradik, it's Oitzet Lolam Roim, it's Uruchas Roz, Gewaldige Zach. So we say from here that Shiyorim Mitzvah is the Ma'akev the Poronius. Here is this is the Shiyorim Mitzvah.
Why it's shiori?
It's left over from the mitzvah. It's shiraim of the mitzvah.
So why we don't do it by down Sfadeh Kinim, and Pesach? We just pull it. That's it. Shiori mitzvah also.
That's a symbol.
Has to do with Kabbalah. It's not just everything has a mokol in Torah. It's not just one day somebody decided let's do it. No.
It has to be something special. You're right. It has to be something special. With Havdalah, but Lapoil, you're right. For some reason, it's only by Havdalah. We don't say it by Koish Brach anywhere else besides
by Kiddush
Havdalah.
we don't do it.
We don't do it by Kiddush, right? Even though here they bring from Psad Yagon by every Koish Brach. Our minik is only to do it by Havdalah. There must be a reason why we do it by Havdalah. Even though he brings here that the Maseches Kala Rabosi Perek Yud says Kol Shiore Koises Metapshin Chutz Me Shiore Havdalah, that the Shiore Koises is not a good thing. Havdalah is, but there's more to it. There must be more to it. So Hagufa, why?
Also, when we take the candle, we put it in the wine, and then we take wine and put on the candle. The whole it's a wasting of good wine.
The Rebbe didn't do it. The Rebbe, he just put it in the Havdalah. He didn't pour on it.
Because it makes no sense pouring it. It's a good wine.
Right.
Why are you pouring?
Why are you pouring it? Okay, so that's 1 minute. So the idea of going like this with the fingers is to show a chavivus mitzvah and shiore mitzvah. It shows how precious the mitzvah is to us. That's the bottom line. It shows how precious every mitzvah is to us. Another thing is, usually kosher bracha we give everyone to drink. And Psad Yagon says not to give from Havdalah. The Bach says he doesn't mean that not to give. He only means like women not to give the women.
Psad Yagon said that?
Yeah, here. Psad Yagon kosov ein tzrichim b'nei beis alikim kosher bracha. So.
That's what we mean.
Ein tzrichen b'nei beise litem mekois shel bracha.
Oh, b'nei beito in general,
Yeah.
not necessarily women.
Yeah, no, but the Bach says
Oh, the Bach says
that he meant the women.
It didn't sound like something Rav Sadi would have said.
No, the Bach says he meant the women. He meant the women. But men, why not let the men drink? Lapoil, the minig is not to give nebei. So yeah, the rule.
But for the men to give kosher bracha, it's a don't forget, it's a chavivus.
The Rebbe's kosher bracha was a little different. It was not just a kosher bracha of Havdalah, it was a kosher bracha also bechas hamazon.
So he did twice, it double.
Yeah.
It's even more.
Yeah. Okay.
But it's interesting why dafka by Havdalah.
Okay, let's go back to the simon. You know what? Let's start again. We're holding the middle of Siv Beis, so let's start again.
Where are we?
Simon Reish Tzadik Tes Shaloi Lachem Shalishtis V'Shalas Shum Malacha Ked V'Shiav D'Lebei Chalfal Sefer. Simon Shin Lamed Aleph.
Resh what?
Shin lamed aleph.
Oh, Shin. I went to Resh. Okay. Shla Kadosh. Remember yesterday I said Shla Kadosh.
Exactly. Also, Chom Leichel Shum Davar Lishta Shomashka Chutz V'Mayim B'Matzai Shabbos. A person is not allowed to eat or drink anything besides water. Matzah Shabbos Allah Ad She'Havdalah Kois till it makes Havdalah and the Kois Havdalah She'Havdalah Kar B'Tefillah and never really made Havdalah and the Tefillah. I feel like a little mat even to taste a little bit. Awesome Tamshin is Barb Simon Reish Ayin Aleph. Chazal, it's a very strict thing. Chazal say that misosoi be'askera. Tosfos says it's a midah keneged midah. It's askera. It's a machla in the throat, like a person chokes. So a person ate Rachmana litzlan when he's not supposed to eat. So then Rachmana litzlan he chokes. However, the Gemara says that Rabbi said that you're not allowed to drink even water. The Rabbanon, the Rabbi and the Gemara Paskin says you're allowed to drink water. The minik Chabad is not to drink even water. So why? What's the reason? I don't know. But the emphasis the Tosfos brings from the Chachmei Luthier that there's that the water Bein Hashmoshes, the water is reserved for the neshamas to toivel in it. So therefore, a person shouldn't use that water.
It's also something with Kabbalah. It's not
Yeah. So therefore, he said there was even a Maisa that there was someone that drank water and he got into terrible danger because the neshamas are very makbid that people shouldn't take away their water, their toivel in the water ben hashmoshes. So it could be that as a shaykhs with that. Akaponim, the Medina, the Gemara. It's a terrible. It's a very, very chomodik thing. But mayim is mutter to drink. A minik Chabad is not to drink also mayim. As I said, it could even though the Gemara there's an opinion that you're not allowed to drink water, but the Gemara paskins against that opinion. So it couldn't be that the minik Chabad is to be choshish for the other opinion. We can't be more frum than Avina or Rabashi. It must be a different reason. Like I said, maybe
sakona.
because of the sakona, maybe because of the water. Maybe because the neshamas are being toivel on the water, bein hashmoshes. Akaponim, that's the minik Chabad. The minik Chabad is not Motzah Shabbos still Havdalah. Not only you don't eat or drink, but even water you don't toim even water.
Many times you go machmir against the Gemara.
Yeah, where?
I mean the Chabad people.
No chas v'sholom.
No, like different, for instance, something you do in Pesach, all these kumot you have and everything.
Not against the Gemara. Chas v'sholom.
No, the Gemara
It's
is
more chumra than the Gemara.
No,
And,
can't be such a thing. You can't do such a thing.
no, you don't pass it to other people, but you do it yourselves.
It's not as a so every time it has to have a different explanation. But if the Gemara says that the Vonan Ve'Ravashi were not makbid amayim, and the Gemara paskins that were not makbid amayim, it's a Gemara meforeshes. How could you be machmir more than the Gemara? There has to be a different reason.
Okay, so let's first.
Not that we paskin like the
Okay, so
like
for
the
instance,
Buna.
What's your reason for not eating anything in Pesach except potatoes?
After the shir, I could tell you.
Chabad are not the only ones that have strange things on Pesach.
Okay, so
The Chabad are not the only one. They didn't invent strange stuff in Pesach. Right, there are people that don't eat fish in Pesach.
What?
Yeah.
Okay, so again, that just strengthens my question.
Okay,
Not
so,
against the Gemara.
but it's not against, right? That's the Gemara doesn't mention it. Here, there's a machloikis between Rav Huna and Abona Deverabashi. We paskin The Gemara, how could you go against the Gemara? The Gemara paskins one way. So I'm saying it has to be not because we're machmer like Rav Huna. There has to be a different reason. Like Tosfos there brings al asad. Tosfos brings from Chachmei Luthir that there's that the sakana. So okay, so maybe there's a saying you can't if there's a machloikas in the Gemara and the Gemara paskins, you can't be more smarter than a Vina Vashi, be more machmer than a Vina Vashi.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with that, but I had the question on all these other guys who do, see, apparently do.
No, so there has to be a different explanation. It can't be. My parents-in-law, they don't have fish on Pesach. Hungarians, a lot of Hungarians don't eat fish.
What the reason?
Because apparently they used to bring fish from in the markets, and the fishermen wanted to keep them fresh, so they used to rub in some alcohol. So there was a chash chametz. So they don't eat adayim. A lot of Hungarians, they don't eat fish on Pesach. They have what's called falsche fish.
They like chicken.
Yeah, they take chicken and they grind it, and they make it. It looks like gefilte fish, or really it's falsche fish. And those they're mahada, they have some falsche stuff a whole year too. Even if the person was drinking, and he started to drink when it was still daytime. Again, we're holding page Shin Lamed Aleph, the Tzimmer Reish Tzadik Tes, Siv Beis.
So how we do over here when we do Shalashus? It's Ben Moshes.
Oh, well, wait a minute, because we started because we already did Bechza Mazen.
No, but he said, I feel like Yoshev Hashem Bod Yom.
Shoyse, but he didn't wash. He made Boide Priyagofen, right. Even if he already made Boide Priyagofen, he was in the middle of drinking, and he started with Boide Yom Tzarech Lafsik to stop. Shogir Ben Moshes, Ben Moshes, to Safek Laila. If he started to eat, it doesn't have to stop since he started beheta. He could continue eating and drinking.
Now we'd say, oh, this is only when he washed, right?
Right, that's if he washed for achila.
Because that's not what it says.
That's what he says, no?
No, it says,
Oichel means a suda.
Why?
Means a suda.
Make it taste.
What is oichel bananas?
Whatever you can eat, you're allowed to eat the biyotze shal shudish, which is bananas and fruit and b'diavad.
Because he says, say, a suda, he says, Shogir Vadelaila, Barashi, Lahamshich b'suda, kama shiyotze. We're talking about a suda.
Suda shal shlishis is called suda shlishis, even if you have fruit.
Kama shiyotze teich alayla. Given shehitzcha beheter. Usually it's on, Avlim his shacher v'hischel a suda be'iser. He started the suda be'iser, the hainu ben hashmoshes ve'elach. If he started the Suda, so he started Be'isr, so it doesn't help. They say you're allowed to start Ben Hashmoshes. Ben Lechel, Ben Lishtus, you're allowed to start to eat or drink in Ben Hashmoshes. They say it's only also if it's Vadei Laila. Shows us Havdalah, that's the time when it's Roy for Havdalah. That the minig is that people start Ben Hashmoshes. Not to be moichin them. So in other words, it's a trefzach that you finish mincha late, and you have to wash for shalosh shudas, and it's already ben hashmoshes, so you could be mekel. But the ikar is really the Alter Rebbe holds kisvor d'shayna. Everyone agrees. If it comes tzorich avel hafsik. It's a stop on the Suda. Imay kavul ishtir, belavad me b'yom, v'afilu machila, m'shochach, v'hischel b'vadei laila, l'kol ha'deis. If he started a Suda, and it's vadei laila, tzorach lahafsik miyat k'sheniskar, he has to stop as soon as he remembers. V'niskal lacha sheberech ha'moitzi. And if he remembered, he made a moitzi, and then he remembered, oi, I can't start a Suda. How can I make a moitzi? And he remembered Kodem Shetom Prusas HaMoitzi before he eats the piece of bread of the HaMoitzi. So there is an exception. Yitamen miyad, he should eat a little piece of HaMoitzi. V'achach yavel, then he should make Havdalah. Shim yavdal mitchila, if he's going to make Havdalah, Teir birchas HaMoitzi lavatolah, v'ach shachach yitzar alazar lavorich, HaMoitzi, he's then going to have to do HaMoitzi again. Kivashev se kol kach ben brach l'tima. So therefore he should be Toyin. Okay, so...
David Pshuta.
Huh?
It's better should be toim, even though you're not supposed to, than make a bochel v'tel.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's much of that. You're right. That it's very chametz.
Right.
The first.
Right. So, bottom line, Chazal made a very chomedik isur. They wanted a person to know that Havdalah is very, very important. Ad kedei kach, the Gemara says that a person that eats before Havdalah, misosek askara. Askara is I don't know, whatever askara is. It sounds like a pretty nasty.
No, it's choking.
Yeah, right. Because the Gemara says elsewhere that if chas v'shalom a person is chayiv to have chenek, so one of the things that the Eibishter Rachmana litzlan, a person dies from askara, because that's the type of death of chenek. So Rachmana litzlan, terrible thing. So we see from the Gemara, it's a very, very chomedik thing. Chazal wanted that from when it comes the time from Havdalah, a person should do Havdalah. The whole machloik, so it's also b'achil v'shtiya, it's mutter to drink water. Many Chabadis we don't drink water. The shaila, the only machloikus is when you start a suda, you could continue. When do you have to start suda? One opinion says you have to start before Ben Hashmoshes, and the other opinion says you have to start before Vadai Laila.
You're allowed to do Ben Hashmoshes.
Yeah, the Alter Rebbe says not to be moiche. There are people that mincha is late and bismekitza chadrei, and it's already Ben Hashmoshes and they're washing.
Still allowed.
Don't be moiche. Don't be moiche. But tzachatchila, a person should wash before Ben Hashmoshes. But l'chol hadayis, once it's Vadei Laila, he started to eat. He has to stop.
My religious once said four.
Yeah.
He wants to announce 4 minutes.
4 minutes.
You can
Leeway?
wash. Yeah.
Okay.
4 minutes for what?
After shkia.
Uh-huh.
I think that's very machmir, no? According to here, like
It's
the
make it.
No, machmer, because he's saying the Alter Rebbe says not to be moiche to hold Ben Hashmoshes.
And he said 4
That-
minutes after.
No, 4 minutes after shkia. The Alter Rebbe is saying the whole Ben Hashmoshes until
The
you have
much
until
later?
gets much later.
Well, maybe because he holds that Seitz is the Alter Rebbe sheet and Seitz Bechlal is 34 minutes.
Okay, so that's
So
not
then
4 minutes.
No, so then Ben Hashmoshes starts much earlier according to the Alter Rebbe.
How much earlier? What do you mean?
According to the ones that hold.
Shkia is a chama. Shkia is a chama.
According
You
to
see
the
the
according to the
shkama.
Rishonim, that the Roiv Rishonim that Seitz Bechlal is like 52 minutes, 50 minutes, whatever, depending on the where the
But the whole shaila is about
The
seisik
Ben
chama.
Hashmoshes is always about 15 minutes after Shkia.
Okay, but
Maybe if you
shkia
hold
is the
15
same
minutes
thing.
earlier, if you hold that Seitz Bechlal is early, 15 minutes earlier than that, so then you get a proportionate less of Ben Hashmoshes.
Okay, less, but you said 4 minutes.
Right, so
He
maybe
announced
it's
4
10.
minutes.
Maybe because he holds that it starts at 10. I don't know where he gets 4 minutes from. I don't know.
No, you probably meant because sometimes in the calendar they
With Shkia, you mean?
yeah.
Oh, he's not saying that because that's Shkia. I think it's because he's saying that's how into Ben Hashmoshes you can go.
Yeah?
But I think he bases it on Alter Rebbe.
No, couldn't be because the Alter Rebbe says, like you just
No,
said.
maybe the Chomer Dikashit.
That's probably what he meant. Yeah, the Chama de Geshitas. He wanted to rely 4 minutes for whatever reason. Yeah.
Right.
Here we do much later. I see people doing it much later.
Okay, the Alter Rebbe said not to be moiched these people, but once it's Vadei Laila,
For sure not.
for sure not. Which is
Sicha Chashuv here from the Chashuv people.
no, but once it's Vadei Laila, it's
Right, but
Vadei
saying
Laila.
Ben Hashmoshes we see a lot of.
Yeah. Ben Hashmoshes.
But l'chayr, you can eat if you can wash at that time. You can probably up until that's when you can stop eating also.
Well,
even if you didn't wash.
Right,
Those-
even if you didn't, right?
So l'chayr, you can go also till Ben Hashmoshes.
Right.
When is this Ben Hashmoshes? When is it? How many minutes after Shkia? According to the Alter Rebbe, it's Ben Hashmoshes Vadai.
I don't know, whatever, till Ben Hashmoshes, until you have the 3 kechavim, like you said before. This is
Right, but there's
this
two
is the
Shkias. Everyone
contentious.
holds there's really 2 Shkias.
This is the contentious point.
Okay, but we have to know what is it. I'm sure they're placing that passing when the Alter Rebbe's Ben Hashmoshes is. When is it?
Whenever in Beis
Saying
Menachem,
35 minutes is already said to Chacham according to the Alter Rebbe. So the Shaila is when is Ben Hashmoshes? Ben Hashmoshes is when you Safik Laila Safik Yom. We
Right.
don't do it where you can't
right?
do Bimekel.
Yeah, it's at least a half hour for that.
I think he says in the Siddur, you have up to a half hour time.
Yeah,
At least a half
That's
hour
what they, Dr. Leonard
from when
was
she
saying.
is.
Is this the same thing?
yeah. You see people in 770 davening. More than that.
That's not. Since some people that married and you have a minyan for minyan.
No, but they say, a lot of the Yerushalayim say
Synagogues.
and it's only been the Evid. In other words, it's only been the Evid. The Alter Rebbe, when we hold the Shkia, by some people that's it. Like according to the Moshe, you have 10 minutes, and you can't daven mincha anymore. We don't have that chomer. We don't have that. In Chabad, it's like they hold like the Perlishers when it did the Evid.
I'm not sure.
Does that mean?
I don't know if it go that way.
I'm not sure.
55.
But you can't have either stuff. In other words, if you normally daven at 35, you can't start davening mincha at 40.
It's not clear in Chabad. What's the?
I know that in Montreal, Moshe, I went there one Shabbos, and they have minonim for mincha mamish until Ma'ariv. So then I asked Rabbi, what should you do? He says, Yesh Leim v'Yesh Leim. That's what he said.
No, it's not a clear psak in Chabad.
Yesh Leim v'Yesh Leim.
Okay, so whatever the person's minig, whatever is ben hashmoshes, that's his ben hashmoshes. We're holding in page Shem Lamed Beis, the third line at Siv Gimel. Eating. Achar Gmar, so the Kabbalah Shtia, they finished eating, and they decided now they're going to drink. That was in those days. There was such a thing. At the end, there was a yain lifnei suda, yain la'achar suda.
Used to move the tables. And
Oh yeah, but before b'chsamazon we're talking about. And tzarich l'hafsek shagia alayz shakal l'shagir suda achas. It's all part of the same suda. We're talking about before b'chsamazon. Kol zman shalabicha b'chsamazon. It's not as long as they didn't do b'chsamazon, they didn't do b'chsamazon. I feel omred zelazeh. Boy, even if they said let's do Havdalah, chos v'nim l'chodishtes, and then they changed their mind. And they said, let's drink more, let's eat more. They don't have to stop. Just even though they decided that they're going to make Havdalah, they could change their mind.
What's the solution? Machma should go with that. Because they don't have to be mafsik just because they said.
Right. In other words, sometimes we say
that they have to be mafsik because they were nimlach not to eat.
Right.
But over here, that has nothing to do with eating.
Right. Exactly. That's the chiddush. It has nothing to do with eating. So they decided to make Havdalah. They decided not to make Havdalah. It's fine. Right. If they eat, because if they said to each other, okay, that's over. Yeah.
So what's the
case closed?
Think that? I guess the Havin is to think that because that's like Ke'ilu, that's the same thing as the saying let's not eat anymore.
Exactly. And Kamash Malon, that it's not. Right. And they don't have to make another bracha because it's all part of the meal. If this was not considered a hesed chadas through saying that they could change their mind. So therefore, that this is not considered a hesed chadas. Mashenkin, if a person said boy nevarich b'chsamazon, that would be considered a hesed chadas.
Well, this is very interesting, though. So that the reason he's saying is because they can even eat after Havdalah.
Not because after. No, after Havdalah.
Isn't that mashma?
No, before they don't have to do good on their promise. They said let's do Havdalah.
Right.
So he's saying that saying is not
hefsek for achila. Why? Because they can eat and drink after Havdalah.
No, because they can drink after Havdalah.
What does that mean? What is he saying here?
Because they have the right to have charota on the declaration boy v'navdil.
When?
V'lech l'vishus miyad koydem sheyavdilu. Not after.
Right.
Koydem
sheyavdilu. So why would I? So what do you mean?
Abdullah give you permission to do what you want.
No, with koydem you were thinking after.
Right. Exactly. I was thinking after. So what does that mean, though? So because
like you said before, that this is not considered like cutting a meal. When a person says boy we cut the meal. Mashenkin, if I say boy v'navdil, it didn't cut the meal.
Since they can go and eat miyad koydem sheyavdilu.
Right. They have the right to go back, so therefore it's not considered as chadas.
But
why doesn't he just? I'm going.
The whole concept of the Havdalah is they should be able to drink after it. So if they says that means we want to continue eating.
No, but the emes is b'shat because no, it's
Because
still.
then you have problems with shpechus hamazon and this.
What?
It's not. It's a different suda. You
It's
ate
not Shabbos
you ate
legal.
beheaded for Shabbos.
Right.
So
So he's not Shabbos, you're not going to be able to say Ritzei.
We'll
yeah,
get
that's
to it. We'll get to
putting
it.
yourself
We'll
in
get
this
to it.
fakers.
We'll get to it.
You're not supposed to put yourself in this fakers. But why doesn't the Rebbe just
I know
say?
it's a very. I know
It's
it's
a
a
weird
very,
lashon,
it's a very
right?
funny lashon.
Why
I
don't
don't
you
know.
just say you can do?
There must be some chiddush there. I don't know. That's a very strange lashon. Hamafsek lahavdalah lakois be'emtza shtiyosoi. A person,
He's drinking.
yeah, and he says, okay, he's going to be mafsek. Ba'afa b'shekavol ishti b'lavad, shu chayav lahavsek lahavdal, shegei lav oslo mat l'ishasoi dev she'avdal. It's also to drink, so he has to make Havdalah. Ba'afa pikha ein tzar alvar b'ri pregofen. Okay, shalavdal, he doesn't have to make agofen. Shenifta b'ri pregofen she'berich al shti rishoyna. He's part of making b'ri pregofen because he already made b'ri pregofen on the first cup of wine. Even though in between there came a time of Isur, so there was a short period of time it was also to drink. So I would think that was like a Hesach Hadas. No. If he, or the same thing, if he, by Achila, when there's Havdalah on the Yain, that the wine of the Boire Priyagofen, even though you said, okay, let's stop and make Havdalah, so I'd say now you stop, it's also to drink. So now you're going to make Havdalah, so you should I would think that you'd have to make another Agofen. No, you don't have to make another Agofen. Same thing if he may use his beer. He doesn't have to make a shahakal. Because it's birchas hamoitzi patas all the drinks. However, there is a shitta that argues on this. They say no. That since you're ready also to drink, there was a hefsek, so you have to make a new bracha. The best thing is to always make sure to do brichas hamazon. So you don't have a suffix. You know, if you're going to finish your meal and bench, so then versteht sich, you have to make body pregofen on the wine. Schenken, if you're not going to bench, you're going to go into a suffix, brachas.
Because the Havdalah.
Yesh Amrim, that because it's also to drink, so it's a hefsek, it's a new thing now. It's like you went to sleep. It's a totally new, it's like you went to daven in the middle. So this is a hefsek, it's like you walked out of the room.
Well, it's worse because
It's also lagambri to
when
drink.
you go out of the room, you can still drink.
Right, to hear your mamish also to drink. So it's like a new thing. So you went into machloikis. So therefore the eitzah is to make sure that you do bichas hamazon. So now there's no shaila. You do bichas hamazon. Now you want to make a doif, to make a gof. What
if you did it when it's you want to make Havdalah now a half hour before? Let's say you did it right at this month. So not a half hour. I'm saying let's say
and there was no
50
zman.
minutes. So now
And there was
49
no
you
zman.
started 49 minutes to make start Havdalah. There was never a zman where it's us until the second saying Havdalah. You wait and you watch until it's exactly, you know what I'm saying, says Chachamim.
Right.
So then there was never a time it was us to drink. So why then do you have to make a
But even then, because there is a shitta that also the whole Ben Hashmoshes is also.
fine, but you can't say for sure it was asur. So something goy say some brachas lahakel.
Okay, but lachatchila, there's always a eight if they could do lachatchila to accommodate everything. We always try to lachatchila accommodate every shitta.
Right.
So if you're going to do bichas hamazon, you did nothing wrong. You're allowed to finish your suda and do bichas hamazon. And then you'll have no.
From here, it seems like you also allowed to say Havdalah in the middle of Shalosh Shudas. Says you're allowed. So what I'm saying though is that but he's saying that really, but like there's a day that since you weren't allowed to drink, according to that day, you were allowed to drink. So what do you do then?
No, but now he's giving an eight set to accommodate every shit. So you're saying, well,
just according to that day that holds.
yeah, according to that day wouldn't be a problem. You're right. According to that day wouldn't be a problem.
You can make Havdalah, not make a break.
Yeah. Well, what's the problem?
Okay.
Yeah, according to that shit, you're right. לפי שיש חלק על כל זה, לכן טוב לזור לכתחילה שלו להבדיל קודם ברכס המוזן. So the best thing is do bechas hamazon. Do bechas hamazon. לא היה לשייך ולא להם כרפרח בפרגפן לא יין. ואם הוא רוצה להבדיל שלא יקבוע אלא לשתייה בלבד, שהוא חייב להפסיק. If it was that he was only drinking, לא יבורך על כוס של הבדלה, כדי העלב שהוא עיקר. So, if he was eating a suda, he could say, I finished my suda. And then do bechas hamazon, because it's not, I mean, this, but if he was just drinking, why are you making a ala geffen? So you could make another beiri priya geffen. You can't do that. So then takazo, he shouldn't make another bracha beiri priya geffen. If he davened, cholol of chayves avdolov, osle lachzer lesudose. So now this cut off his suda.
The davening,
Right.
like saying bon vorach.
Right. Ad sheyavdil mitchil al kois. Afilu higdim l'spal arvis and bodyim. Even if he did arvis and bodyim, which he could do, chol of cheves havdalah miyad. Now there is already a cheves havdalah. V'asal alitim klum. It's also for him to taste anything. Chutz mimayim. Ad sheyavdil. We're holding Siman Reish Tzadik Tes. It's on page Shin Lamed Gimel Ois Sif Vov. Yeah, but that's a different thing. We're talking now about Havdalah. Now we're talking about Havdalah. Since he already made the Arvis, so now he's a chiyuv to do Havdalah.
Or to be mashlim the whole.
Right, exactly. Mashlim was Havdalah. Sivav hoyeshev oichel b'yayim shein etzar l'hafzik musadas l'havdal kedem bechas hamazon. He's a suda. He's allowed to eat a suda, right? He watches for shala shudas. He's eating suda shlishis. Shein etzar l'hafzik musadas l'havdal kedem bechas hamazon. Yesh le'lishtas gamke mekoi shel bechas hamazon. We already learned about this in Hilchas, in the Hilchas of Bechas Hamazon. We once had a case here in the shul. People were very upset at one gentleman that drank the kois of Bechas Hamazon.
No, this is
Right. Afal pisha hu v'dalayim l'pisha kois shel Bechas Hamazon gam kemachal suda l'mi shenizer la'olam lavarech Bechas Hamazon ala kois. To someone who is always nizir to do Bechas Hamazon with a kois shel bracha, the kois shel bracha is not considered to ima before Havdalah, because that's really part of the Suda. There is no Suda, according to them, there is no Suda without a Kois Shel Bracha. So Kois Shel Bracha is really part of the Suda. So that's, you're allowed to have the Suda, because it's a Hemshech of the Suda. Those people that do Bechas Hamazon without a Kois, they rely on the shita that you don't have to have a kois. With some machloikas rishonim if Bechas Hamazon tuna kois bracha or not. We paskin that it's not tuna, it's a mitzvah and a mufcha. We do it as a mitzvah and a mufcha.
The only thing you do by us is if you have wine at the table and you're going to Bechas Hamazon, it's better to move the wine. That's it.
Yeah.
So. What was that again? What?
If you have a wine at the table and you're going to bench, you better move the wine.
Why not use the wine to make and do?
No, if you don't want to bench on a cost.
Why shouldn't you bench on a cost?
Sometimes people want to bench but don't want to take the cup. So
Why is that? Why do you have to move the wine?
because otherwise you're embarrassing the wine. You have wine,
That's
you
true.
can make a boha.
I don't know.
I never saw that anyway.
I have to find out where you see this minute. But
You saw that?
yeah.
Wow.
So, those that drink, they don't drink a kois. They'll make Bechas Hamazon without a kois and bracha. They rely on the shitta that you don't have to have a kois and bracha. Also, kois Bechas Hamazon kind of is not allowed to drink. So, bottom line, when you do Bechas Hamazon, you have a kois and bracha. After shalashudas. So it depends. A person whose minig is to go with the Rishonim that hold that you have to have a kosher bracha, you could drink it. You could drink it because this is nothing, it's part of the Suda. But if you go with the opinion that you're not chayev, you're doing it as a mitzvah and a muvcher, then you're not allowed to drink it because you're already benched. So you did b'chas hamazon. Now you also litem klum koidem Havdalah.
That's why the Rabbi now I understand make one bracha on the same cup.
It's interesting. We're going to learn in the next sif about it. Usually we say, by Kiddush, we say that the Einoitz and mitzvahs chavilos. It's a very interesting thing. Usually we say that you try not to put together.
But there you couldn't drink it, so you finish one
chavilos.
thing.
By Kiddush we don't do it. By Kiddush we don't try. We try not to combine different. Right. By we have a chosna kal the sheva brachas, right?
Yeah.
So we bring two separate koises, one for b'chas hamazon and one for sheva brachas. Why not one kois? Because the Gemara says, "Einois mitzvahs chavilos." When you do a mitzvah, in this world, people try to get away with
Is a
it.
mitzvah.
Yeah,
Can combine the mitzvah.
yeah. The Rabbi used to say, there was a psalmol, there was a saying, Ein malach eschod oisa shnei shlichuyas. That a malach doesn't do, every dedicated malach for every shlichus. So why is it that human beings, when they get a job, that they end up getting, double, triple, they're getting
responsibility.
Yeah, because malachim, there's no overtime, it costs geld, there's no insurance. So why not? Every malach will do his one job again. But human beings, they have to get paid for the job. So why not? The employer says, "How can I nocha b'slarbet?" So it's by kosh shel bracha and kosh shel mitzvah. Usually we say we dedicate a separate kosh for every mitzvah. You don't try to get a bang for your buck. A mitzvah, our minig is a yotzim and a klal that for Havdalah we use the same kosh for kosh shel bracha. We do b'chas hamazon. And then we use the same exact kois also for Havdalah. But really, Apidina, the Shulchan Aruch, and the Pashto Pshat and the Gemara is that you should always do separate koises. Kiddush by Havdalah, Sheva Brachas by a Chuppah, wherever it is. But that I call the B'dafka, yeah. The rule is Einoit Semitzos Chavilas
So why in
Chavilas.
Sheva Brachot we mix up the cups?
Then we mix it something else.
It has to be designated for...
Okay, fine.
So you
That's
drink.
fine.
The one that drink the cup.
We didn't get a bang for the buck. We had a separate kois for this mitzvah, a separate kois for this mitzvah. It's not. We didn't save any money here. It's not l'pshat that we. It's not covered for the mitzvah that you managed to shtup it all in. You got one employee and you got him to do the job of 5 people.
I know by a bris, let's say you have twins, right? You don't make one bracha for both of them. You make one bris,
Separate.
everything.
You're not
and
allowed to
you do
make
a
it
second.
together. You have to wait a little
You
bit.
don't. Yeah, you don't make it chavilas chavilas. You don't.
But that I call everything we do separate, right?
Unless one shul has only one table.
That's you have no choice.
Did you notice they have a new security guards by Yeshiva Flatbush?
All the time.
Not
Every morning I
not
see
anymore. Those guys with those
suits.
with those big motorcycles. Did you notice? There's no more the guys with the motorcycles.
Oh yeah.
They also,
They were trashy in there. They were no
Huh? There were no. I don't know. There were no good. They finally got new people.
real ones.
If you notice, there's the guy that stands in the front door, a nice guy with a suit, with a tie. They had their Bali Tshuva from Chaim Meir Lieberman, their father.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the boy, when he had the first child, they had the bris here. I was the sandik, and now they hired him. He's the chief of the security. Very nice guy.
Nice.
So they have a mazel tov. I just went with my children. They had just
They
had a
weren't so
second
nice,
baby.
the previous guys.
They were not nice
No,
people.
no, no.
If you see, he's a nice guy.
Oh, that's good.
Nice clean
I
shave.
just hope he's not nice to the bad guys.
So they had a mazel tov. Tonight, tomorrow they have a bris. Last bris they had here, now having somewhere else. The kid is
now he has
a job, so he can afford to.
It has a better hall. Maybe they give him the hall.
No, I don't know. He sent me a text where it is. It's somewhere because he lives on N and.
Mazel tov, Baruch Hashem.
By the way, what's the mitzvah? I mean, you said something about that you have another kais.
Every time for every mitzvah to have a separate kais.
You said that there was no kais when they benched, but then afterwards they made a kais.
No, we said before that people that there's a machloikis if you have to have a kosher brach or not.
Okay.
Some people go with the opinion that it's only a mitzvah and a mufcher. If you yes or not. So those people, they're not allowed to drink the kois after Shalosh Shudas. They have to make Havdalah first. That's what we do.
Okay.
But there are people that they go with the opinion that kosher brach is a chiyuv. So they're allowed to do a kosher brach and drink it before Havdalah. Because for them, that's part of the Suda. Sif Zayin. It's a page in Lamadalit. בין מי שמותר ללשס ממנו, בין מי שעשה ללשס ממנו קודם הבדלה, אין יוכל גם להבדלה לו מיד, קודם שישתה ממנו, אלא יבדל כוס יין אחר אם יש לי. If you have, you should use a separate kois of yayin for Havdalah and the kois habrach. It shouldn't be the same kois. Avi shebirch zamazon he kedusha b'fnei atzma, Havdalah he kedusha b'fnei atzma. It's a separate kedusha. This is one kedusha which is called birch zamazon, and it's a separate kedusha which is called Havdalah. We don't say two kedushas and one kois. If we could do it on two koises, then why? We try not to bundle mitzvahs together. Why? Because it shows azilzul the mitzvah. We can get away. We can, you can get cheaper by the dozen. You can knock it off. Every is kaveya brach la'atzmai, kaveya inyan la'atzmai. Avli mein lo oid kois, avli mein lo oid yain lo kois Havdalah, tzorach l'Havdalah mi'at kodem she'ishta mimenu, acher v'chzamazan. If he has no more, so then he has to use the same kois. V'lo ya'acher Havdalah, mashti la'acher v'nadam v'shir tzorach, lishtas v'kasher barach mi'ad achara, so you should do bichzamazon right away, do Havdalah immediately, and use the same kois. If he has no choice, he doesn't have extra wine. Everyone agrees that there's a mitzvah and a mufcher to use a kosher bracha for bichzamazon. So you should drink it right away. So you should do Havdalah right away. So this way you could see that he did that he's doing right away the Havdalah and he drinks it right away. But if he has enough wine, Sheni ולא יברר ברי פריגה פנal kois rishon שבח סמזן על kois sheni של Havdalah ומיד אחר שתיס kois Havdalah ישתה גם כן kois bichzamazon lemitzvah min hamufcher. So we have to talk tomorrow about our minhag, why it's different.
I never saw somebody had 2 cups.
L'poil, as I said, because that's not our minhag. But l'poil, api the pashta pshat in the sugya, and that's the way the Alter Rebbe passes here, that they always say that we don't do mitzvahs chavilas. So that's not what we do. We do the same kois. We use the same kois. But api the pashta din shulchan aruch, he's supposed to have 2 separate koises. One kois for kosher bracha v'chsamazon, and a separate kois of kois shel Havdalah.
Even if you're going to drink the bichzamazon after Havdalah, right? You're not going to do it till then.
Right.
So what would you do? You just don't make a bracha on both koises.
Right.
Drink them separately.
Right. You drink them separately.
It more sounds like chavilas, even if you drink them separately.
Why?
Okay, it's a
I
separate
made one
kaveya.
I'm one boy player golfen for biggest and Mosen and for the
So
instead
what?
of
The
doing
biggest-
one in each one.
To make a separate Berdi Pilagofen is a huge chiddush. Like we do it by the Arba Koises. That's like a huge chiddush, and there's so
Yeah.
many reasons how.
There's a lot of
How could you
questions
do?
talking about
There's a lot of questions. But the fact that you make a separate one Agofen for 2 Koises, so what? You can make one Agofen for 10 Koises.
Not Chavilas.
Right. It's interesting that the chibuv mitzvah that there is dafka by Havdalah. The fact that Chazal say that Shiore mitzvah is a gewaldige Zach. However, we see that the minig Yisrael is to dip your finger and to wash your eyes. To wash your eyes dafka by Havdalah. He said there's a special chibuv mitzvah by Havdalah. It's interesting that there's different minhagim in different places how people wash their eyebrows or
Their pockets.
atazai. But the Yoide Dover said it was very hard to see what the Rebbe did. He did it very quickly. That the Rebbe used to do it 3 times. He used to put the fingers in, and he used to do 1, 2, 3.
Everything was 3 times.
Chazak, yes.
The matzah, even in the Zaltzfast, the Rebbe dipped the car parts 3 times.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.